MVP of season 19, episode 8, A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, episode of Sister Wives, is Janelle. Congratulations, Janelle. Excellent performance tonight. So she had two amazing one-off zingers that you might have missed, but probably not. One was when she said, hey, she hears great things about David, blah, 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 blah. And she says that he has a great relationship with all of his kids. And my husband and I about fell over laughing because we were like, oh, that has to be a purposeful dig at Cody. The other is later on in the episode where she's like, I think this has a lot to do with his ego. In our religion, he's a failure for losing all of his marriages but one. And she has this big, shiny smile on her face. And we laughed so hard. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Additionally, highlight of the whole season so far, possibly, might be the conversation between Janelle and Cody and how good she is at just addressing the facts and not getting caught up in his weird spin. She says, I want you to buy me out of the property. And he's like, well, what about us? Notice, of course, that she says he hasn't been in my house in 2 years when she's in the interview talking about this time period. And I was like, wait, this is January. She said it's almost February, so it's in January. And it's the fight that broke them up was a year ago, the previous December. So it was about 14 months ago. I knew that he was not happy about the RV, but I didn't realize, and I knew that when they moved into the apartment, there was a reference to this being a space for Savannah and Janelle and that he wasn't a part of. So I knew he wasn't staying at the apartment, and I knew he didn't like the RV, but I assumed he was still going there occasionally. And according to this, it's implying that he hasn't gone to the RV or been in any of the places in years, which is unfathomable to me that he still thinks he has a chance. And you notice how every time she brings up a lawyer, and I was waiting for him to pull what he did on Christine, which is just to make up facts. And I'm still holding out that he's going to end up doing that. Remember when Christine was like, well, I'm going to move to Utah. And he's like, oh, well, if we don't have a custody agreement, the state will just come in and take Truly away. So we have to do things my way, or we can't get lawyers involved. I can't remember what exactly his point was, but he admitted in the interview, I was just making that up to get my way. So that conversation with him, I do believe, unlike his conversation with Robin, I do believe that his conversation with Janelle was two people legitimately having a conversation that wasn't pre-agreed to. And that's why I think it's good. I additionally think she got some great comments in there where she was like, we can't be in a relationship because there's all these things I'm not allowed to talk about. And he's like, of course you're allowed to talk about them. And she's like, well, here's an example. And he's like, don't you talk about that. That's in the past. We need to move forward. And she's like, okay. That's an example, and that's why I don't think we should move forward. And then he kind of circles the donkey and kind of brings it up again. And she just keeps saying, this is that. And then he gets really mad about, she plays the victim card, which is kind of ridiculous because it wasn't even close to what the victim card even means. And then we have, Robin sliced in there saying how, oh, this new thing that came along that blames me. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you that it seems like Robin, for as little as she's in these episodes, manages to find the worst possible thing to say to make her look like the worst person ever. You know what I mean? And then Cody's just constantly blaming Janelle. Sorry, it's not a very good screenshot. I should have picked a better one. Constantly blaming Janelle for his lack of relationship with his kids. And the kids have explained why they don't have a good relationship with their dad. They've said it over and over again. And he managed to use the betrayal several times about how he was so betrayed. He was so betrayed, which is, we didn't see on TV. What we saw was a dude who just abandoned 3 wives and then got mad when they just didn't want to roll over and do things his way. And then he yelled that they were unloyal and terrible. And then, that kind of thing. So I'm going to say it's a good episode overall. The Christine and David ring shopping in context was just the right amount of the episode. I loved seeing a little bit of Christine and David doing something other than getting a venue, buying a house, getting rings, all that. The house thing is coming up. We haven't seen it yet, so you didn't miss it. But to actually show them just having dating, I guess, it gives some more context to the idea that they are doing stuff. I think it's totally fair what Isabel, Aspen, and Peyton said. I think that they're allowed to feel that way. I think it's really kind of them to be as honest as they're being, knowing how difficult people can be with their criticism. Yeah, overall, I'm going to say one of the better episodes that we've had this season.